it's Sami from Sami's Sweet Life, and today we are talking about prep and getting ready for the new year. So it is a little bit before Christmas. We've got a one-day break, and then we're going to have family here again for another week. So I wanted to go ahead and sit down and film this. It will not go up for you guys until probably right around the new year. So I will have a January prep and planner move-in video coming up soon, but this is just going to talk about the prep, what I liked, what I didn't like about each of the planners. I started my prep in here and talked my way through it a little bit. I've got little fuzzies on these guys. So I talked my way through some of it. I will link to that, like part one, in the description box for you guys. There are kiddos playing outside because it is the holiday and it's Texas, so it's nice and warm here most of the time. I'm just going to walk you guys through the rest. The one thing I haven't filled out in either book is my word of the year, and I finally did decide on my word of the year. It goes great with my annual goals. I've got a two-parter annual goals video for you guys, a short, a condensed version, and then a long-form version talking about each goal a little bit more in detail, so you can see the goals videos, whichever one you prefer to watch. I was having a lot of trouble finding my word of the year. I ended up having a page for it in both planners, so we'll walk through all of this stuff. I don't know where the word of the year page is. Yeah, here we go. So I ended up writing out quite a bit of stuff. Here's the word of the year for the power sheets, and there's also a word of the year in the prep stuff as well. I've already walked through all these goals with you guys, but there was a place to write in your word of the year. Okay, so this is the intentions page, and it has your word of the year at the bottom. So I brainstormed a lot of ideas. I'm going to walk you through those really quick. I've talked about them a little bit. I wanted it to be like I'm trying new things, curating a new routine for myself, trying to streamline things. That's kind of where some of these words come through. And I actually don't have my actual word of the year written on either one of these lists. It just came to me. You can read my intentions up here if you're interested. But on my power sheets one, I wrote stretch, reach, streamline, harness, like I'm harnessing my inner commitment, inner dedication, things like that. Push, solid, compose, build, study, and ease. So all of those kind of go along with the same thing. We're stretching, we're making new goals, we're trying to streamline processes and simplify things, and we also want to be really consistent. So that's where steady comes in. Harness, you're harnessing all those things. Push, you're pushing towards these things and going out of your comfort zone a little bit. And then over here, I've got embrace, spark, masterly, which I saw somebody use that one. I thought that one was a good one. Simplify, streamline, strength, intention, consistency, and gusto. Somebody else had used the word gusto, which I thought was a good one. I want to have really good intentionality with everything. I want to streamline processes. I want to stretch and reach my goals and try really hard. And the word I came up with, when I saw it written, I was just like, oh, it's perfect because it flows with some of the creative things I have going too. The word is create, just create. And so I'm going to be creating routines. I'm going to be creating new habits. I'm going to be creating videos and stuff for both of my channels. I'm going to be creating in the scrapbook room. I'm going to be creating fitness routines and things like that. So it really involves a lot of all of my goals being tied into this word create. So that's just going to be a big part. And like, it even fits for my physical goals. I have a physical goal to make our house a home. So I'm creating a very comfortable home environment for us. So it still fits with all of my goals when I'm using this word create. So I was super excited to actually find a word that really worked with what I was going for. And it ended up not being a word on either one of my lists when I was brainstorming. And I've been trying to throw around different ideas. I've also typed in other words for embrace or similes for whatever words I have here. That was the word I have. I do need to write it in. Do I even have a pen? I don't even have a pen. Let's see. I do have a pen. Okay, I have my December planner right next to me. So I'm just going to write it in. With this book, I've been using pink, but I don't have pink. This is going to be black ink. I'm just going to write it in. Create. And I am so happy about it. So we've got create here, and on here, what my word means to me. I just explained it, so I'll end up writing that at some point, but not right this second. I'm creating the life I want to have. I'm creating the inner peace and the self-discipline, and I'm creating a more fit body, all sorts of things. It just works for so many of my things. So anyway, that was just one thing I had yet to do that I hadn't talked about, and I was so excited to get it done. And then vision board. So I have not made the vision board in either book. This is one of those things where I am creative, I am scrapbooky, but this is just a mental thing. I don't know. I can't damage it, and I don't want to mess up the page and mess up. I can't draw very well, so I can't really draw things. I really just don't like the look of magazine clippings and things, so I just left it blank. My vision board is in my head, and so that's probably not the best idea. So anyway, I've got all of these done. I talked about the actual goals in here. I find that these books are going to work different ways for different people, and depending on what kind of person you are, you might prefer one of these books over the other. So we're going to talk prep now. So this prep section, super duper tiny. Makselife does have a lot of videos that you can work through if you need more help than just this little section. The Powersheets prep, chunky, huge, lots and lots of things to think about, lots of things to write. Like you can see, there's my pink writing all over this section. There's tons and tons of stuff into the prep work. And this one really just covers it all. It really talks about intentionality. It talks about finding your goals, finding your whys. Lots and lots of stuff go into this prep. And I found that this was really like a multi-day process for me. I couldn't get through it in one day. I went back to it and I still have gone back to it even more. I still have to tweak a few things in here, but this is really in depth, and I think this is what makes Powersheets a really robust goal planner, is it has all of this prep work, and there are videos also for this if you need more help with this. So the Makselife one, I don't know, I'm not a huge fan of the compass assessment because I feel like it gave me false high numbers because I could answer the questions pretty easily. I felt like the questions were hit or miss for me. So I'll show you, like for here, I've got a lot of 10s and 8s and 7s. Those are pretty good numbers. And then I have 1 4. I give myself grace for my limits and imperfections, which is not true. I beat myself up, I feel guilty about things, but everything else on there is really, really good. So I got a really artificially high number for personal, even though I still have personal things I need to work on. And same with this. Fun and recreation, I have a lot of big numbers, so my average ends up being 7, which is a really good number. But this one, I take regularly planned vacations and/or time off. Totally not me. I am go, go, go. I'm always planning on what I'm doing next as far as doing stuff that's not just strictly fun. Like I'm planning things, and I always feel like I don't relax. So that's a one I need to work on. But if you look at my compass assessment, every one of those sections looks pretty dang good. And you can see I circled the one I want to get. I want to get 1 or 2 points ahead on a lot of the different categories, but most of them are really, really good. If you're like trying to set goals for yourself and you're looking at this, you're like, dang, you know, my life's pretty good. It doesn't leave you a lot of motivation in this, which I find that some people, I guess they're really critical of themselves and they have smaller numbers around the center here. Mine seem to be pretty even spaced, so I'm not really imbalanced at different sections, but I don't have a whole lot of room for improvement just based on the numbers. So if I were to give my own self-assessment, not using the actual questions here, I would probably rank myself lower for a lot of these things than the assessment ranked me. So I feel like I will probably do that quarterly, like not really look at the assessment numbers and just gauge how I'm feeling. Like spiritual and personal growth, it has me on here as a 9. I would totally not think I was a 9, but based on the questions and the averages of the questions, it gave me a 9. So I don't know, I wasn't in love with the questions. I feel like they didn't hit what I'm really trying to accomplish. So I just wasn't a huge fan of that. I feel like it's a good idea. It's a good idea to have the different categories. It's a good idea to rank yourself on the things. But I feel like personally, I just need to self-assess instead of using the questions, because the questions didn't hit the mark for me. Like they didn't resonate with me as much. So anyway, going on, I loved all the information. It was very informative. This one seems to be a lot more reading than just simply answering questions. There's the intentions page, but a lot of it is just reading types of goals. This is a really good one. All of the annual, monthly, weekly actions. It tells you how to use each of the things, how to think about each thing. So I really like the steps in this process. And then you get right into your annual goals. This is a mind map, which I also didn't do, but I have my goals written out, which I've talked about in depth with you guys. Here's the vision board that is not done. And I think where the Makselife shines is, one, their community. It's so fantastic. It's awesome. You need to check out their Facebook page. If you are into the Makselife at all, they have a great, great Facebook page. I did end up joining the Club Moxie, which you can only join through the end of the year. So I really highly recommend checking that out if you're interested in that. It's going to be more personalized goal coaching. There's a group of people, and already the group seems awesome. I went ahead and signed up for it. It is expensive. I just paid for the quarter, which is $150, but I figured it's cheaper than therapy. It's cheaper than hiring a life coach. It's cheaper than hiring a personal trainer. It's cheaper than finding your team and paying people to be your accountability people. So this is just, I'm giving it all I've got. I'm going to spend that $150, and I'm going to try my hardest to make commitments and stick with it and follow all of these steps and really embrace it. So I'm spending that $150 knowing that I'm going to try to get my money's worth out of it. And because it is such a money commitment, I'm willing to put the time commitment in there too, because I know I spent the money and I want to have good things come out of it. So I would definitely highly recommend that. I will link to that down below if you're interested in that, but it's just going to be like more in tune coaching. She gives you more mindset and growth mentality, tools and tips and tricks to help you with your goals. And Sierra Friend, the creator of the Makselife, she is a life coach. So I think she's going to have great tools to help. So I'm really just sucked into the community. I love their regular Facebook page, and then I'm going to be really excited to try out the Club Moxie this year. It is a quarterly thing, so it's for 3 months. I've committed for that $150. So that's where I feel like the Makselife shines, is if you are involved in their community at all, you get more out of it. The prep work on this is very small, I feel like. The golden part of this planner itself is the weekly pages. So you get your, your monthly page, you get your monthly goals, so you break it down monthly, but you also break it down per week, which I love. I love that you're going to be working on your goals, putting them front and center every single week. So these pages, you get a reflection, a weekly page, you get your weekly spread page, which I will be using throughout the year. It has your habits, so you can put some of your goals down in your habit section if they are habit and maintenance type things that you're going to be trying to achieve every day. And then you reflect back on your week every week. You make new goals every week, and you're always referring back to your goals. It's just right there. And that's where I feel like the Power Sheets falls short. I have used it for November and then December. I haven't done a whole lot of goal setting because we've had family. We were also sick, so my December has not worked out that great. But what I found when I was using this is I am super excited about starting it. I'm super excited about making my tending list and doing the brainstorming for the month. And once I get my tending list, it's beautiful and great. I then totally forget about it because it's separate from my actual planner, and I hadn't stuck with it. Like, I don't go and I don't track my stuff every day. Right now, just off the top of my head, we're right at the end of December. I have no idea what my daily actions are on my December tending list because I have not referred to it hardly at all. So this is something that I want to make sure I'm sticking to. So part of my goals that I'm going to be writing in my planner when I'm going week to week is looking at my tending list, because this is totally separate and I love the way it's mapped out. I love the idea of brainstorming it, but I need to put it into action. That's the disconnect when it's separate like this. So I probably will end up taking these out and sticking them in my Makselife so I have them right next to each other. Well, right now I'm printing them out. They're not actually like the pretty ones. They're just photocopies of this book. So they're not the greatest copies anyway, but I feel like that's been the disconnect for me. It's going to be getting into the habit of actually referring back to my tending list. And in this case, every day, there's daily actions on here. I need to be looking at this, especially at least a couple times a week to make sure I'm hitting those weekly actions and getting my monthly stuff done. But I love how it's laid out. I love this gives you some structure to work with, whereas the annual goals, you're left to break these down all on your own. You've got the annual goals. How do you break them down monthly? And also, how do you break them down for the daily habits? And how do you break them down weekly? That's going to be the challenges, coming up with ways to break them down further. Whereas this, I feel like, gives you that opportunity to break things down a little bit further when you're brainstorming and you're writing out your tending list. And this one also has a great one. I'm going to scoot this one out of the way for just a minute. This one has a great set of pages, and I'll show you guys mine. I don't care that you guys see it, but this is going to change from time to time. This is a great little yearly overview page, which it maps out. It's calling them seasons, but they're actually quarters. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4. This is the whole year mapped out. I did end up using my color coding from my monthly goals, my annual goals, I mean. I do have this one that's totally blank. I don't have it mapped out. It's the peachy color, but all of my other ones are mapped out. And I used the little stickers from the Powersheet sticker book to map them out. So I'm trying to do a lot of the planning part in season 1 in January. And then I'm going to be hitting some things quarterly. I'm going to be working on different things like PM routine. I'm going to really start getting that one in tone in April. So I really try to map them out. So I'm not trying to do every single thing in January, because if you do too much, you might get overwhelmed. And that's me. I'm such a perfectionist at things. I want to do all of it and I want to change everything all at once. And then I realize I can't change everything all at once, and I get frustrated and then I give up and quit. And so I try to write out the things I want to get done so that I can focus on this section in January. And then I can move on to this section in February. So I have things mapped out. August, totally blank because it's back to school time. It's go time. It's going to be a busy time of the year. Same with December. I just have some Project Life catch up. And of course, I'll change this from time to time, but I ended up trying to put like the home things separate and make sure that I'm not trying to do too many things at once. I'm getting room for different things. So I really, really love this page. I also really like, I'll show you guys these two. I'm not going to show you guys every one because this has a lot of things, but like the goal action plan, I have these ones for every goal. So I have my goal mapped out on a 2-page spread, and I really like this. It really helped me map things out. It's got questions to answer, and then I wrote out some things that I wanted to do for each thing. I'll show you like scrapbooking. I've got plans for how I want to work on my scrapbooking. And here's my big dream. Work on 2018, 19, and 2020 and complete as much as possible. Maybe play catch up with 1 month from the past every month. So we'll see if I can knock out some of this, but I've got my goals outlined and I can use this, all of this information that I've already worked on and planned out. I can definitely use it and break it down from month to month and week to week and try to knock out as much as I can in the weekly pages here. So I love that I will have this to refer to. I feel like this is like the heavy digging, the heavy work that I did in the background. And then this is going to be where I put it into action. If I just leave it in here and I didn't have like places to put it in my actual planner, these are going to be forgotten. I really have to make sure I'm referring to this when I'm making my weekly plans and my monthly plans in here to make sure that I'm getting everything done. But I really like the idea of using both of them. It's like Towley, if you're a South Park fan, he says, I choose both. That's how I feel about these. I feel like they're both awesome planners, and they both cover different things. They both hit in a different way. I think if I had to pick one or the other, I would pick the Makselife just because it is broken down week to week, and I feel like you will use it more. And that's Sierra Friend, the Makselife creators, like biggest thing. Like if you have a goal book, it's great and fine and dandy, but if it's not in your actual day-to-day use planner, it's hard to refer back to it. And I found that the last couple of months. I was super excited to get the Makselife. I tried this one in November and it was really a struggle. Like I totally forgot about it, even though I taped it in my book. Part of the goal setting is just getting in the habit of goal setting and making it a priority and remembering to refer back to it. So I wanted to just cover that with you guys. The prep work on both of them was great. I will end up doing a January move-in where we write out my January goals. I'm going to try to write out the January goals on these pages and then try to break them down and put in some of the weekly action plans throughout the month. I probably will tweak these and add more into these from week to week. I probably will sit down and do some sort of plan with me or overview for you guys every week, or at least every other week or so, to show you guys how it's working for me and what I'm finding works and what doesn't work. So I'm really excited about this. I have one thing on here, start a 30-day challenge. That's going to be the first part of January, and I don't know what my 30-day challenge is going to be, but it's going to be something to do with fitness or something to do with waking up early, because those are my two big things I need to get back into. December has been just like a free-for-all fun break, and I'm ready to get focused again. So I hope you guys like the look at both of these. I think they both hit different ways and work different ways, but I think they can work really good together. I'm going to be using them together. So anyway, hope you guys like this video. Be sure to like, subscribe so you can follow me along for more planner and goal setting videos. All the relevant links and details are in the description box, so always refer to that if you are interested in anything or need more information for anything. And I will catch you guys next time. Happy planning. I'll do a planner move in soon for you guys. I'll catch you next time. Bye guys.